You're still wearing cheap clothes, still working a small job, still the same girl. You never changed." People around them chuckled quietly. She lowered her eyes, embarrassed, but before she could say anything, a deep, calm voice came from behind. "She doesn't need to change." The entire room went silent, because the man who said that was someone nobody dared to question, and in the next few minutes, the same people laughing at her would realize they had just humiliated the woman protected by one of the most powerful Korean mafia bosses in Asia. But what shocked them even more was who she really was to him. 3 years earlier, Lena Park believed in small happiness. She believed in warm coffee, rainy evenings, quiet bookstores, and simple conversations. She didn't believe in luxury. She didn't believe in status. And she definitely didn't believe money decided someone's worth. But Daniel did, and that difference slowly destroyed them. They met during college. Daniel was confident, ambitious, and extremely charming. He always talked about becoming rich. He wanted penthouses, luxury watches, private clubs, and powerful connections. Lena liked his passion. She admired how hard he worked, but she didn't realize. His dream didn't include someone like her. At first, everything was sweet. Late-night noodles, sharing umbrellas, studying together, planning future trips they couldn't afford. Daniel used to say, "When I become successful, I'll buy you everything." Lena always laughed. "I don't need everything, just stay." He would smile, but slowly. That smile started changing. After graduation, Daniel joined a finance firm. He started meeting richer people, dressing differently, talking differently, thinking differently. And then he started comparing Lena. "You should dress more professionally. You should change your hairstyle. You should stop working at that bookstore. You should network more. You should aim higher." Lena listened quietly. She didn't argue, but she didn't change either. She liked her life. She worked at a bookstore cafe. It wasn't glamorous, but she loved it. Books made her happy. Quiet made her comfortable. Daniel didn't understand. One night, he finally snapped. They were sitting in a restaurant Daniel chose. Everything was expensive. Lena looked uncomfortable. Daniel leaned back. "You know, my colleagues asked about you today." She smiled. "What did you tell them?" He hesitated, then spoke honestly. "I told them, you're still figuring things out." She nodded. That's true." He shook his head. "No, you're not figuring things out, you're stuck." Her smile faded. "I'm not stuck." He leaned forward. "You're still working a small job, still dressing simple, still living the same life." Silence. "You never change, Lena." Those words stayed in the air. Heavy. Cold. She looked at him. "Why is that bad?" He didn't hesitate. "Because I'm moving forward, and you're not." That night, something broke. 2 weeks later, he ended things. And 2 months after that, he got engaged to a wealthy investor's daughter. Lena didn't chase him, didn't fight, didn't beg. She simply let him go. Because deep down, she knew. He didn't want her. He wanted someone different, someone who changed. And Lena never did. 3 years later, Lena still worked at the same bookstore cafe. Our same quiet smile, same simple clothes, same calm personality. She woke up early, made her own breakfast, took the same bus, opened the cafe, arranged books, cleaned tables, served coffee. She never complained. Customers liked her because she remembered their names, their favorite drinks, their favorite genres. She treated everyone kindly, even rude customers, even impatient ones, even those who ignored her, because that's who she was, someone who never changed, And that's why fate noticed her. It was almost closing time. Rain poured heavily outside. The streets were nearly empty. Lena wiped the counter slowly. The bell rang. The door opened. A tall man walked in. Black coat, calm expression, sharp eyes. He looked around briefly, like someone checking exits, observing everything. Lena smiled politely. Sorry. We're closing soon." He nodded, but didn't leave. Instead, he walked toward a chair and sat. Something felt off. He looked exhausted. His hands slightly trembled. Lena noticed immediately. "Are you okay?" He didn't answer. She stepped closer. His breathing seemed uneven. Without thinking, she brought water. "Here." He looked at her for a long moment, then took the glass, drank slowly. His eyes never left her face, not in a creepy way, more like memorizing, studying, understanding. After a moment, he spoke. "Thank you." His voice was deep, calm, controlled. She smiled. "You look tired." He nodded slightly. Silence followed. Rain hit the windows. The cafe felt quiet, comfortable. He suddenly asked, "Why are you still open?" She laughed softly. "I wait until the rain slows down. Some customers get stuck." He looked around. "I know customers." She shrugged. "Someone might come." He studied her again. "You help strangers?" She nodded. "Yes." "Why?" She answered simply. "Because someone might help me someday." He didn't respond, but something changed in his eyes. After a moment, he stood. "How much?" She blinked. "For water?" He nodded. She smiled. "It's free." He paused, then nodded once and walked toward the door. Before leaving, he looked back. Their eyes met. Then he left. Lena returned to cleaning. She didn't know. Outside, 5 black cars waited. Men in suits rushed toward him. "Chairman, are you injured?" He shook his head. "Just tired." They opened the car door. He entered, but before the door closed, he looked back at the cafe and said quietly, "Find her." Lena forgot about the man after a few days. Life returned to normal. Morning coffee, stacking books, soft music, regular customers. Nothing changed, and she liked it that way, but unknown to her, someone else hadn't forgotten. The tall man from the rainy night sat in a quiet office on the top floor of a glass building. The city lights reflected behind him. A man in a black suit spoke carefully. "We found her." The tall man didn't respond. The assistant continued. "Name, Lena Park. Age, 27. Works at a bookstore cafe. Lives alone. No criminal history. No financial debt. No connections." Silence. Then he added, "She dated someone named Daniel Lee. He left her 3 years ago for a wealthy investor's daughter." The tall man finally spoke. "Kind?" The assistant blinked. "Yes, according to neighbors. She helps people. Volunteers sometimes. No complaints." Silence again. Then the tall man leaned back slightly. "I continue observing." The assistant nodded. "Yes, Chairman Kang." 1 week later, the bookstore cafe owner had an idea. "We should host a business networking event, extra income." Lena didn't care. She just prepared the tables, arranged cups, prepared snacks. She wore her usual simple outfit, white blouse, black skirt, no makeup, hair tied neatly, nothing flashy, nothing changed. Guests started arriving, expensive suits, high heels, loud conversations, business cards, fake smiles. Lena quietly served drinks. She avoided eye contact. Then, she froze. Daniel walked in. Her heart skipped. 3 years. And he looked different, more confident. Expensive watch, sharp suit. Beside him, his fiancée. Beautiful, elegant, rich. They walked inside like they owned the place. Daniel noticed Lena immediately. His lips curved slowly, that familiar smirk. And he walked straight toward her. Well, this is unexpected. Lena forced a polite smile. Hi, Daniel. His fiancée looked curious. Who's this? Daniel chuckled. My past. The fiancée laughed softly. Oh, really? Daniel nodded. Yeah, we dated for years. The fiancée looked Lena up and down. Her smile faded into judgment. Oh, Daniel crossed his arms. You're still working here? Lena nodded. Yes. He looked around. Same place? Yes. He tilted his head. You didn't change at all. People nearby started listening. The fiancé smirked. She looks exactly the same. Daniel laughed. I told you. She never liked changing. The fiancé whispered loud enough for others to hear. That's sad. Lena felt heat rising in her face. She kept silent. Daniel leaned closer. You know, I thought you'd at least try to improve. Silence. You're still wearing cheap clothes. People nearby chuckled. You never changed. Those words hit harder this time, because now others heard them. Lena lowered her eyes. Her fingers tightened around the tray. She tried to stay calm, but humiliation burned inside her chest. Daniel shook his head. This is why I left. The fiancé added softly. Some people just stay small. More whispers, more looks. Lena felt trapped. She wanted to leave, but she couldn't. She was working. She stayed quiet. And then a calm, deep voice came from behind. She doesn't need to change. The room fell silent. Daniel frowned. Who said that? Everyone turned. A tall man stood near the entrance. Black suit, cold, calm expression. Sharp eyes. Lena's eyes widened. It was him, the man from the rainy night. But this time, he wasn't alone. 4 men stood behind him, and their presence alone changed the atmosphere. Daniel looked annoyed. And you are? The man ignored him. He looked at Lena. Are you okay? She nodded slowly. He turned back to Daniel. You said she never changed. Daniel smirked. Yes. And? The man spoke calmly. That's her strength. Daniel laughed. You don't even know her. The man replied softly. I know enough. Daniel crossed his arms. She's just a cafe worker. The man's eyes darkened slightly. And yet, she helped someone she didn't know. Daniel shrugged. So? The man stepped forward. And you mocked her for staying kind. Silence. Daniel rolled his eyes. This is ridiculous. He grabbed his fiancée. Let's go. But one of the men behind the tall stranger stepped forward. He whispered something into Daniel's ear. Daniel froze. His face drained of color. His fiancée frowned. Hey, what happened? Daniel stared at the tall man. His voice trembled slightly. You're Chairman Kang? Whispers exploded. People stepped back. Some recognized the name. Some didn't, but sensed danger. Chairman Kang, the invisible power behind shipping companies, investment groups, private security firms, and rumors. Underground control. The man nobody dared offend. The man standing in front of Lena and defending her. Daniel swallowed. I didn't know. Chairman Kang stepped forward slowly. You didn't know what? Daniel struggled. I didn't know she knew you. Chairman Kang replied calmly. She doesn't. Silence. And that makes it worse. Chairman Kang looked at Lena again. She looked confused, nervous, overwhelmed. He gently moved slightly in front of her, like shielding her. Daniel noticed. His heartbeat increased. You're protecting her? Chairman Kang answered simply. Yes. Daniel forced a laugh. Why? She's nobody. The air turned cold. Chairman Kang's eyes sharpened. She's someone who helped me. Daniel blinked. That's it? Chairman Kang nodded. That's enough. Silence filled the room. Daniel felt pressure building. People watched him. His fiancée looked worried. You should apologize, she whispered. Daniel hesitated, but his pride stopped him. I didn't say anything wrong. Chairman Kang tilted his head slightly. You called her someone who never changed. Daniel nodded nervously. Yes. Chairman Kang spoke quietly. And you said it like an insult. Daniel stayed silent. Chairman Kang stepped closer. But not changing means she stayed kind. Silence. She stayed loyal. Silence. She stayed human. The tension became unbearable, and Daniel's confidence disappeared. For the first time, he felt small, very small, and he didn't realize. This was only the beginning. The room felt smaller. No one spoke. No one moved. Even the cafe owner stood frozen behind the counter. Daniel swallowed hard. He tried to smile, but it looked forced. I think this is being blown out of proportion. Chairman Kang looked at him calmly. You humiliated her. Daniel shook his head. I was just joking. Chairman Kang replied softly. She wasn't laughing? Silence. The fiancé stepped forward nervously. We didn't know she was important to you. Chairman Kang answered immediately. She isn't. They blinked, confused. Then he continued. She's important because of who she is. The words landed heavily. Lena stood behind him, still processing everything. She didn't understand. Why was he defending her? Why did this powerful man care? Daniel tried again. Look, I apologize. But the apology sounded empty, forced. Chairman Kang didn't respond. Instead, he turned slightly. One of his men stepped forward and handed him a tablet. Chairman Kang glanced at it, then looked at Daniel. Daniel Lee. Daniel's heart pounded. Yes. You recently secured 3 investment partnerships. Daniel stiffened. How do you know that? Chairman Kang ignored the question. One with Han Global. Daniel nodded slowly. Yes. One with Blue Harbor Capital. Yes. And one with Eastgate Holdings. Daniel's breathing became shallow. Yes. Chairman Kang handed the tablet back. They're all connected to me. Silence. Daniel froze. What? Chairman Kang's voice remained calm. You built your future, using my network. Daniel's legs felt weak. His fiancée stepped back. That's not possible. Chairman Kang continued. You plan to expand next month, Daniel whispered. Yes. You signed a loan guarantee yesterday. Daniel's eyes widened. How do you... Chairman Kang cut him off. And tonight, you humiliated someone I respect. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Daniel's voice trembled. Please, I didn't know... Chairman Kang looked at him. You knew she was kind. Silence. You knew she supported you. Silence. You knew she loved you. Daniel couldn't speak. Chairman Kang's gaze hardened slightly. And you called her someone who never changed. The final blow. Daniel's confidence shattered. Chairman Kang turned slightly. Cancel everything. One of his men nodded. Yes, Chairman. Daniel panicked. Hey, wait. What do you mean, cancel? No one answered. Daniel's phone vibrated. He ignored it. Then it rang. Again and again. His hands trembled. He answered. Yes? Silence. Then his face went pale. What do you mean? Withdrawn. The fiancé stepped closer. What happened? Daniel didn't answer. Another call. He picked up. No, we signed. His voice cracked. They pulled out. Another call. His breathing became fast. Yes? Silence. You're terminating the contract? Another call. Another. Another. Within seconds, everything collapsed. The fiancé slowly stepped away. You said everything was secure. Daniel looked broken. I don't understand. Chairman Kang spoke calmly. You threw away loyalty. Silence. So, I removed opportunity. Daniel's voice shook. This is my career, Chairman Kang replied quietly. You ended hers first. The room stayed silent. No one dared intervene. Daniel's world crumbled in front of everyone, and for the first time, he understood what real power looked like. Daniel's fiancée stepped back. Her expression changed. Fear, disappointment, distance. I need some air, she whispered. Then she walked away, leaving Daniel alone. He looked at Lena. For the first time, regret filled his eyes. I didn't mean... But Lena didn't respond. She wasn't angry. She wasn't satisfied. She just looked calm, and that hurt more. Daniel lowered his head. Everything he built, gone, in minutes, because he mocked someone who never changed. Chairman Kang turned to Lena. Are you all right? She nodded slowly. Yes. He studied her face. You don't look happy. She answered honestly. I didn't want this. He replied softly. You didn't cause it. She looked down. I never wanted revenge. He nodded. That's why you deserve justice. Silence. The tension slowly faded. People started whispering again. But now, they looked at Lena differently, not with judgment, but respect and curiosity. Who was she? Why did Chairman Kang protect her? What was her connection? Lena asked quietly. Why are you helping me? Chairman Kang answered truthfully. You helped me. She blinked. That was just water. He shook his head. No. Silence. You treated me like a human when you didn't know who I was. Their eyes met. And I don't forget that. For the first time, he almost smiled. Chairman Kang looked around. Everyone moved aside. The room felt different now. He turned back to Lena. Have you eaten? She blinked. No. Come with me. She hesitated. With you? He nodded. Yes. She looked nervous. I don't think that's appropriate, he replied calmly. Then think of it as dinner. To thank you. She thought for a moment, then nodded. Okay. Gasps filled the room. Chairman Kang turned. They walked toward the exit. Everyone stepped aside. Not for him, but for her. The girl who never changed. And as they walked outside, black cars waited. Doors opened. Rain had stopped. Chairman Kang gestured. She hesitated, then entered. And the moment she did, her ordinary life started changing forever. But not her. She would remain the same. And that was exactly why he chose her. The car moved quietly through the city. Lena sat nervously. This was her first time inside such a luxurious vehicle. Soft leather seats, dim lighting, complete silence. Chairman Kang sat across from her, calm, composed, observing, as she held her hands together. I hope I didn't cause trouble, he replied softly. You didn't. She looked outside. I didn't expect any of this. He nodded. I know. Silence. Then she asked, Why were you there tonight? He answered honestly. I came to see you. She blinked. Me? Yes. She looked confused. Why? He leaned back slightly. After that rainy night, I wanted to know who you were. Her eyes widened. You investigated me? He didn't deny it. Yes. She laughed softly. That's scary, he replied calmly. I needed to know if you were genuine. She looked down. And? He answered quietly. You are. The car stopped. They arrived at a private restaurant. The entire place was empty. Reserved. Lena hesitated. "This is too much," he replied simply. "I prefer quiet." They sat. Dinner was served. Soft music played. And for the first time, they talked normally. About books, about life, about simple things. He asked, "Why didn't you change?" She smiled. "I didn't know I had to." He watched her carefully. "Most people chase money." She shrugged. "I chase peace." Silence. Then she added softly, "I tried to change once. For someone. It didn't feel like me." He nodded. "Good." She looked at him. "You?" He answered quietly. "I changed too much." She noticed something in his eyes. Pain. Hidden. Carefully locked. After dinner, they stepped outside. Cold night air. City lights. He spoke quietly. "Do you know what people call me?" She shook her head. "No," he answered calmly. "A dangerous man." She stayed silent. "Some call me Mafia." Silence. "Some call me ruthless." She looked at him. "And you?" He answered honestly. I call myself someone who protects what matters." Their eyes met. "And tonight, you mattered." Her heart skipped. She didn't know what to say. He continued. "I built everything from nothing." Silence. "I lost people." Silence. "I stopped trusting." Silence. "Until you gave me water without asking who I was." Her eyes softened. "That's normal." He shook his head. "No." Silence. "That's rare." Daniel sat alone in his apartment. Everything gone. Contracts canceled. Partners disappeared. Investments frozen. Even his fiancée stopped answering. He stared at his phone, then looked at Lena's old photo. For the first time, he understood. She never changed, and he lost her because of it. He whispered quietly, "I was wrong." But it was too late. Days passed. Chairman Kang started visiting the cafe. Not often, but quietly. Sometimes he ordered coffee. Sometimes he just sat. Lena treated him like any other customer. That's what surprised him most. She didn't act impressed, didn't act nervous, didn't change. She remained the same, and he liked that. One afternoon, a rude customer yelled at her. "You spilled my drink!" It wasn't her fault, but she apologized calmly. Chairman Kang watched silently. The customer kept shouting, "You people are useless!" Before Lena could respond, Chairman Kang stood. The room went quiet. The customer noticed him and immediately backed down. I didn't mean," Chairman Kang spoke calmly. "She apologized." Silence. "That's enough." The man quickly left. Lena sighed. "You didn't have to do that." He replied softly. "I wanted to." She smiled. "Thank you." One evening, Lena finished work. As outside, she saw a crowd, black cars, men in suits, people whispering. She froze. Chairman Kang stood near the entrance. Someone whispered, "That's him, the Korean Mafia boss." Lena looked shocked. "You really are?" He nodded calmly. "Yes." She stayed silent, processing. Then she asked softly, "Why, are you still coming here?" He answered simply, "Because you're here." Silence. Her heart beat faster. "You don't need someone like me," he replied quietly. "I do." She looked down. "I'm still the same." He stepped closer. "I know," she whispered. "I never changed." He answered softly. "She doesn't need to." The same words. From that night. From the beginning. But this time, they meant something deeper. A week later. Daniel came to the cafe. He looked tired. Different. He saw Lena. Walk.